Coming up on Evening Edition, Marion's new mayor was sworn into office last night. Plus, Governor J.B. Pritzker announces safe routes to school grants. And the search continues for a missing 5-year-old boy. Live from Southern Illinois University, you're watching River Region Evening Edition. Mike Absher was sworn in as the new mayor of Marion last night. Good evening, I'm Kyler Giebert.
And I'm Jacob Gordon. Hundreds gathered at the Marion Cultural and Civic Center last night to see Mike Absher take the oath of office. Absher is the first mayor elected since Bob Butler, who died yesterday morning at the age of 92. The meeting began with a moment of silence and a prayer for Butler. Following that, John Stecklin and John Barwick were sworn in as new commissioners for the city, with Absher being sworn in last. Absher said that he is bringing the mayor's chief of staff as a new position, with Cody Moak being appointed. Absher did not appoint a new chief of police or city administrator. Carbondale leaders will host a public hearing this evening to talk about the potential solutions after a car hit and killed a 5-year-old boy last August. The city is recommending an upgrade to crosswalks with increased lighting as well as the creation of a bike lane. The public hearing is part of the regular city council meeting scheduled for tonight at 7 at the Carbondale Civic Center.
Governor J.B. Pritzker and the Illinois Department of Transportation are awarding more than $5.5 million in grants for IDOT's Safe Routes to School program. Safe Routes to School supports projects and activities that improve safety and reduce traffic in areas around elementary and middle schools.
Using federal funds, we'll be able to make these sidewalk improvements and increasing signage, making crosswalks safer, and providing equipment to crossing guards and parent patrol programs.
Schools in Vandalia, Murfreesboro, and Heron are 3 of the 39 projects across Illinois to receive funding.
It's been one more day without any sightings of a missing Chicago area 5-year-old. In the latest statement from police, detectives are still working with the FBI to try and find A.J. Friend. Crystal Lake police say the boy's mother, Joanne Cunningham, is still not cooperating with investigators. Meanwhile, neighbors are continuing to show their support by leaving flowers and toys for the little boy in hopes of his return. Neighbors say that their concerns have dated back before AJ went missing over DCFS's history with the family.
Everybody has been concerned and has let the authorities know that over the last year. We've let the DCFS know that. We've seen the kids being taken away and are always shocked that they have been returned.
Now, in the meantime, the mother, Joanne Cunningham, is expected to be in court for a custody hearing. Her lawyer says the hearing will determine if Cunningham can keep her younger son or if he goes into protective custody.
You know, Jacob, today started out absolutely beautifully, and then it just kind of started raining out of nowhere in the afternoon.
I know. I was walking right back into the building and kind of got caught in the rain shower. Samantha Soto is here now with the first look at weather. Sam, is the rain going to continue to fall?
Well, guys, unfortunately, that rain is going to be sticking around for the next few days, but for tonight it is going to be 63 degrees, partly cloudy skies. By the morning we're going to be reaching 58 degrees with some more rain, and by midday it's going to start to thunderstorm, 69 degrees for that temperature. Now for the rest of my forecast, unfortunately, like I said, that rain is not going to be going away anytime soon, but we fortunately do have some warmer temperatures to look forward to, so I do have all of that and more coming up in my 5-day forecast, so stay tuned.
All right, Sam, thanks. As high school students across the country get ready for graduation, many have already started thinking about what comes next. And for some, it's college.
Evening Edition's Madeline Parker has some answers to common questions all college-bound students should know before stepping on campus.
College. You think of it as your next step in education, but it can be a little scary trying to navigate how to get to that next step. And there are a lot of questions that come with going to college, like how should you pick your major?
Write down 5 things that you're good at and understand those 5 things. And then, you know what, we live in a world of Google. Google those characteristics, see what comes up, understand who you are, for then when you sit down with an admission counselor, you at least have a frame of reference.
And everyone knows college can be very expensive, but there are ways that you can make the burden of loans a little lighter.
Search early. Whenever it comes to free money, whether it be grants or scholarships, that's all free money. You don't ever have to pay it back. It's always going to be first come, first serve.
And while going to college can be stressful, once you get there, Southern Illinois University's Associate Chancellor for Enrollment Management, Jennifer DeHamers, had this advice.
There will be so many opportunities for you to partake in a lot of activities. Do it. Get out of your room, do those things, meet students, take advantage of everything that the university has.
Ann Frost had this final advice for incoming students.
It's not a sprint, it's a marathon. Of course, college is fun. I met some of my best friends there, but understand you're there to get to your next step.
For Evening Edition, I'm Madeline Parker.
If you or someone you know have any questions about going to college, don't be afraid to ask academic advisors or recruitment coordinators, and be sure to check out your future school's website for any information you might need. And April is Sexual Assault Awareness Month, and as it comes to a close, there is a resource on campus that can help victims get the help they need. The confidential advisor at the SIU Health Center can help find medical assistance and psychiatric care. They can also help with housing accommodations, academic help, and assistance with legal issues, such as needing an order of protection. SIU's Health Center offers a variety of services to help sexual assault victims.
SIU is here for them, that we see them, we hear them, and we believe them, and we're ready and able to help them when they're ready to come forward.
If you or anyone you know are seeking help, please contact a confidential advisor by phone at 618-453-4429 or in person at the Wellness and Health Promotion Services located on the first floor of the Student Health Center.
The Kleinau Theater finishes off its student season with Depress Me Street. Depress Me Street examines the relationship between monsters and mental health, weaving it together literature, pop culture, personal narrative, and lore. Depress Me Street explores the performance of depression through a post-apocalyptic puppet show. The show will run through the Kleinau Theater tomorrow until Saturday at 8. The show does contain mature themes.
Ahead on Evening Edition, the U.S. sees one of the longest flu seasons in years.
Plus, the Supreme Court hears arguments in one of its most high-profile cases of term. You're watching Evening Edition at 5. The Supreme Court heard its arguments in one of its most high-profile cases of its term, a question about citizenship on the 2020 census forms.
Lower courts say the Trump administration is overstepping authority. The White House says it's vital to enforcing the Voting Rights Act. Karen Caifa has the details from Washington.
Demonstrators outside the Supreme Court.
We demand our communities to be counted.
While inside, justices heard arguments in one of the term's most controversial cases. The Trump administration wants to include a question for all census recipients about their citizenship, something that hasn't happened since 1950. Challengers say it's designed to intimidate non-citizen immigrants and suppress participation.
Fundamentally, the census is a measure we use to deliver on one of our nation's core tenets, and that is the promise of fairness.
The census, taken every 10 years, determines allocation of congressional seats and electoral college votes, and the distribution of billions of dollars in federal funding. The White House has maintained the citizenship question has been on some forms for decades, with the exception of 2010, and is crucial to reinforcing federal voting rights law.
This is something that has been part of the census for decades, and something that the Department of Commerce felt strongly needed to be included again.
3 lower courts have ruled to block the question from appearing on the census form. During arguments Tuesday, conservative justices seemed to suggest the administration is within its rights to include it, while liberal justices honed in on how it could reduce respondents. The Supreme Court term is scheduled to end before the Census Bureau plans to begin printing forms on July 1st. In Washington, I'm Karen Caifa.
The Census Bureau says they prepared 2 versions of the form in anticipation of the eventual ruling, one with the citizenship question and one without. U.S. Senator and Democratic presidential candidate Elizabeth Warren unveiled her plan to eliminate most student debt. Under her plan, $50,000 in student loans would be forgiven for all Americans living in households earning less than $100,000 a year. In addition, Warren also called for a significant increase in federal spending on higher education, making all 2- and 4-year public colleges free for students. The proposal would cost $1.25 trillion over the next 10 years. U.S. auto safety regulators have expanded an investigation into malfunctioning
airbag controls and including 2.3 million vehicles because the bags may not inflate in a crash. According to the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, vehicles made by Toyota, Honda, Kia, Hyundai, Mitsubishi, and Fiat Chrysler from 2010 to 2019 model years are included in the probe. The control units can fail in a crash, possibly due to unwanted electrical signals that can disable an airbag control circuit. About 100 million inflators will be recalled worldwide. And Walgreens will no longer sell tobacco products to anyone under the age of 21. The retail giant says the new policy goes into effect September 1st. The move comes weeks after the U.S. Food and Drug Administration criticized Walgreens for selling tobacco to more minors than any other pharmacy chain. Walgreens says the new policy should help reduce tobacco use among teens and young adults. While the federal legal age to buy tobacco in the U.S. is 18, several states, including Illinois, have raised that to 21. Pacific Gas and Electric is asking state regulators to allow it to raise rates. The request comes after the company filed for bankruptcy and admitted its equipment probably started last year's Camp Fire, which was the deadliest wildfire in California's history. PG&E wants each California household to pay more than $22 extra each month for the service. The company says it needs the money to fund initiatives that would protect against sparking more fires.
Allergy season has officially started, but some are still dealing with the grips of flu season. Evening Edition's Jordan Smearman has more.
There have been 21 straight weeks of elevated flu season in the U.S., making the current 2018-2019 flu season the longest in 10 years. According to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, the previous record high was 20 weeks during the 2014-2015 season. Still, there is some good news. The number of states reporting widespread influenza declined by almost half during the week of April 13th compared to the week before. And according to the CDC, this flu season was considered moderate in terms of severity. A positive change for the medical community after last year's flu season was one of the most severe. Doctors say the most important and effective way to fight the flu each year is still the flu vaccine. The CDC recommends everyone 6 months and older get vaccinated. For today's Health Minute, I'm Jordan Smearman.
In other health news tonight, mumps cases continue to rise on the campus of Indiana University in Bloomington. Officials now say 20 students have come down with the virus. That number will likely go up when the results from other tests come in. Authorities say none of the students who contracted the virus have experienced major medical complications, but the school is notifying those who live in close quarters with students who have mumps. After a morning of sun, rain is starting to move into the river region. But how long will it stick around? Samantha Soto has your full forecast next.
But first on Wall Street, stocks of the day with positive results. The Nightly Business Report has more coming up next at 5:30.
Welcome back to River Region Evening Edition. I'm Samantha Soto. As you can see, we do have a viewer photo today sent in by Maddie Weddle, outlooking our beautiful campus trails. If you or someone you know has a viewer photo that you would like to see on our show, please be sure to send it to our Facebook or our Twitter at River Region News. Now, taking a look at our temperature right now, it is 73 degrees out there with some light rain. However, I did be sure to step out there just before this, and it seems to have died down just for now. So our dew point is at 63 degrees. Humidity is at 70%, relatively high due to that rain. Wind is coming in from the west at 4 miles per hour, and our barometer reads 29.96. Now, taking a look at our almanac for today, you can see we were well above that average high of 71. Today we saw 75, and we were about 10 degrees above our average low. Today we saw 57. We did not see that 91 that we saw in 1965, nor that 30 degrees that we saw in 1951. Now, taking a look at our temperatures across the entire region, you can see it was a relatively warm day out there. Waterloo was our coolest, being 67 degrees with some clouds. Carbondale 73 with rain. Marion saw 75 with partly cloudy skies, as well as Evansville up there at 79 degrees. And Paducah and Cape Girardeau both saw sunny and clear skies, Cape Girardeau being our warmest at 81. Now, taking a look at our surface map, you can see most of southern Illinois saw that temperatures in that 70 to 80 degree range. However, if you go any further north, they were experiencing that temperatures in that 60 to 70 degree range. But take a look at my surface map, you will see that we do have quite a bit going on in our area right here. We are experiencing that rain thunderstorm mix. We do have a stationary front moving up further into the north that's going to be bringing those rain thunderstorm conditions that we are experiencing now to the further part of the northern part of the state in the next coming days. Now, taking a look at tonight, it is going to be 57 degrees. Those scattered thunderstorms are sticking around. Wind is coming in from the northeast at 6 miles per hour with our sun setting at 7:39. Now, taking a look at our bus stop tomorrow, 60 degrees, not too cold, not too warm, but if you're going to be out there anytime at all tomorrow, you're going to want to bring an umbrella, rain jacket, rain boots, anything that is going to keep you dry. We do have an east wind coming in at 5 miles per hour. As for tomorrow, it is going to be 71 for the high. Thunderstorms all throughout the day again, so we want to be prepared for that. Our wind is coming in from the southeast at 8 miles per hour, and our sun rises at 6:10. Now, for tomorrow night, again, those scattered thunderstorms are not going to be getting away from those. We have a temperature of 59 degrees. Our wind is coming in from the southwest at 7 miles per hour, and our sun is setting at 7:40 p.m. Now, if you take a look at that 5-day forecast, you will see there's a lot of rain in the next coming days. Tomorrow, thunderstorms all day, 71 degrees. Thursday is when we're going to start to see a little bit more rain. Friday, however, though, we will be clearing up. Sunny skies, 71 degrees. Saturday, hopefully we'll just be seeing that rain in the morning, 69 for the temperature, and on Sunday we'll be reaching back up to 70 with partly cloudy skies. So although we do have a lot of rain in the forecast in the next coming days, at least we have those warm temperatures with it.
Absolutely. Thanks, Sam.
And now here's Ryan Davis with a preview of what's coming up next in sports. Ryan?
Well, golf makes an outstanding conclusion to its 2019 season, and the NBA playoffs heat up after some major wins and, of course, losses last night. Stay tuned for more right after the break. The Salukis are going for a season sweep over the Arkansas State Red Wolves tonight in the final matchup between the two teams. First pitch was thrown at 5 by ROTC Commander Lieutenant Colonel Anthony J. Anderson in honor of Military Appreciation Day. Veterans and active duty military will also receive free admission to the event. And men's golf finished up the season today at the MVC Championships in Missouri, and boy did they go out with a bang. The Salukis crushed the competition as they take first place with a total score of 5 under par. The Dogs also saw 4 of its 5 players take top 10 spots, with senior Peyton Wilhoit leading the charge in 3rd place, senior Luke Gannon and freshman Mathis Bassar both taking 5th, and senior Hunter York wrapping it up in 10th. This makes both men and women's golf official 2019 MVC champions. And jury selection has begun in the trial of an aspiring sports agent and a former coach who were charged with bribing college coaches to boost their business relationship with amateur basketball players. Business manager Christian Dawkins and ex-amateur league director Merle Code paid coaches at universities such as Oklahoma State and University of Arizona. This is the second trial the two faced after being caught earlier in March bribing high school basketball players in return for them attending colleges affiliated with Adidas. And a head coach in the NBA is being sued by a woman for sexual assault and battery. Former sports broadcaster Kelly Tennant claims former coach of the Lakers, Luke Walton, forced himself onto her at a hotel in Santa Monica, California, back in May 2017. Walton was an assistant coach for the Golden State Warriors at the time. According to the lawsuit, Tennant sustained physical injuries and suffered mental and emotional distress. The Sacramento Kings, Walton's current team, said they are investigating the claims. And last night saw the end of the playoffs for the Detroit Pistons as the Milwaukee Bucks completely swept them off the board. The Bucks held a 10-point lead throughout the game, but fate seemed about sealed in the 4th when Pistons' Blake Griffin was fouled out. And fun fact, the Pistons set a new NBA record with their 14th straight playoff loss. Meanwhile, Bucks' Giannis Antetokounmpo crushed the game with 41 points. This is Milwaukee's first time advancing to the second round of playoffs since 2001. However, the Rockets couldn't quite make the sweep as the Utah Jazz pull out a 107-91 win. It was neck and neck for much of the game. Then Donovan Mitchell, who has started the matchup with a rough start, dominates the 4th quarter, scoring 19 of his overall 31 points. Mitchell rallied the Jazz's defense to limit the Rockets to only 12 points in the 4th, outscoring them by 31. Utah escaped elimination and forced a Game 5 on Wednesday. And the action ramps up with 4 Game 5s tonight. First up is Orlando Magic at Toronto Raptors at 6. Toronto leads 3-1.
7 p.m. sees the Philadelphia 76ers versus the Brooklyn Nets. Philadelphia is also leading 3-1. At 8:30, the Denver Nuggets and San Antonio Spurs played a 2-2 tiebreaker. And finally, the Portland Trail Blazers take on the OKC Thunder at 9:30. Portland leads 3-1, so you can watch one of those tonight.
Looking forward to it. All right, Ryan, thanks. And how long is the rain going to stick around the river region? Samantha has a final check of your forecast next.
But first, as we head to break, be sure to follow us on social media at River Region News and check out our website for more local content. We'll be right back. Finally tonight, today is the perfect day to get reading because it's World Book Day. The celebration of all things literary is sanctioned by the United Nations Educational, Scientific, and Cultural Agency, better known as UNESCO. April 23rd was chosen on purpose because it marks the deaths of Shakespeare, Cervantes, and Peruvian author Inca Garcilaso de la Vega. Reading can educate, enlighten, entertain, and even help you sleep. And experts say reading in bed can help get your body ready to sleep. Now, Sam, it really does seem like the perfect day to, stay inside and read a book. The next few days, actually. Tell us a little bit more about that forecast.
Well, yeah, it seems like tomorrow it's going to be thunderstorms all day for the most part. 71 degrees for the high. On Thursday, some scattered rain throughout the day. 67 degrees for the high. On Friday, though, we are going to be clearing up. Hopefully, we're going to have some sunny and clear skies. 71 degrees again. But on Saturday, we're going to be seeing a little bit more of that rain in the morning. Hopefully, it clears up for the rest of the weekend, though. 69 degrees on Saturday and 70 on Sunday. So
hopefully it does clear up because WSIU's Family Day is Saturday. So hopefully the rain does stop for that.
Absolutely. That'd be very nice.
Exactly.
It's going to be good weather and just a lot of rain, it seems like.
Yep, get those umbrellas out now.
Absolutely.
Right, thanks, Sam.
And thank you for joining us. The Nightly Business Report is next. I'm Kyler Giebert.
And I'm Jacob Gordon. For Samantha Soto, Ryan Davis, and all the students who work here on Evening Edition. Have a good night, and we'll see you tomorrow.